That's the reason why we aren't podcast advisors. We're not in the profession of advising people on how to do podcasts. Let's see. That's the problem.
Once again, this just goes to show, like, there's no media team behind it. It's just a bunch of adults that are just doing this thing, trying to figure this fucking thing out as we go along.
There's like no communication. There's like no hierarchy. If someone's like, "Oh, Eddie runs it," or Lloyd runs, no,
yeah. How many people? That's a big thing, right? Because you get people like, "Oh, I want to be on your podcast. I want to be on your podcast." I don't book it. Well, who does?
I don't know. Rashad does, she like
I'm not the person to ask these questions to. Don't ask me shit. I don't know shit.
With it. That's why I'm mad with it. With it. That's why I'm mad with it. Straight out the trap with it. Whatever you want, whatever you need, it's on tab. Get it. That's why I'm mad with it. That's why I'm mad with it. That's where I'm at. Okay, you chasing clout? Oh no way, your shit turn.
Where I'm at with it, straight out the trap with it.
I will say, for the record, Rashad is the one that books.
Yes,
she's the most professional one out of the four of us, and she's not even on here.
She's not even in most of the message threads, just for everybody's reference. But what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the I'm Gonna Get in Trouble podcast. It's your boy Terrence G. Yeet Skeet Skeet. Eddie is out right now. He should be joining us. I don't know, but he's probably dodging the argument. But with me is my other cohort, my guy Loy Lee, out in Vegas. What's happening, Loy?
What's up? Yeet Skeet Skeet. Is that a thing? Is that what we're doing?
I'm taking shots at Eddie already, like just waiting on him to get to the podcast. Just because I feel petty right now after the Facebook incident going on. I just like to point out my comments got more likes and love emojis than any of Eddie's in the entire debate thread.
Because the people that like Eddie are here on the podcast. Nobody else likes Eddie, and it's a problem, Like Eddie,
that's a self-made problem.
Actually, that's probably the last self-made problem. That's like on the lowest list of things that he's done to himself. People just don't like him, and I don't know why. I love the guy.
He didn't need any parental help to get where he's at, is basically what I'm saying. He got there all on his own.
and if anyone is trying to figure out what we're talking about, it's been super hot on the internet, on the interwebs, about being self-made, quote unquote, and people will bring up like Jeff Bezos.
Are mad right now on the internet.
Mad. And basically people calling Jeff Bezos the Amazon guy, the self-made billionaire, and then people want to pull up receipts, literal and metaphorical receipts, about how he got a $250,000 loan from his family, from his parents.
Gift from his parents. That's a distinct delineation, right? Like, loan, you got to pay it back. Gift, you ain't got to pay it back.
Yeah, like a loan. I mean, what's crazy about loans? Like, oh yeah, $250,000. That's nothing for him. But if you take the loan on Monday, in 4 Mondays, you have to start making payments on that. Yeah. And that's like a weird graph of like principal versus interest. For the first half of the loan, you're only paying interest.
Yeah, and so it was like it's like a 14,000 tweet on Twitter. Like when I saw it earlier from like a little screen cap, and when you pull up the thread, it's just everybody from tweets to retweets to everybody's having the conversation and a conversation within conversation. To me, all I'm saying is the graphic came up and it included a picture of Jeff Bezos' old family garage. And they're like, look at this. This is what Bezos turned into, the multi-billion-dollar company that is Amazon. Self-made, blah, 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 blah. And the article and myself was just like, maybe pump the brakes on that self-made title a little bit. Eddie, of course, being Eddie, has to defend the businessman for whatever reason and be like, no, he still put in the work. So we can have that conversation later. Eddie's wrong as usual, but it's just a little hang up on self-made. So that's why I said Eddie's a self-made asshole. It's his problem.
I mean, $250,000 is a lot of money. I mean, think about how, like, let's put it into your perspective. And I guess you can't apples to apples or whatever, but it's like, how long would it take you to accumulate $250,000?
That's the thing, right? Like, okay, if you look at $250K and just go household income.
$250,000.
Right. Like that's really hard for people to fathom, like actually fathom. It's easy to picture 250,000, all those zeros, look at it on paper, but to fathom that amount of actual cash, like in hand, it like physically in your hand is unfathomable for most. Then you scale it back and say that what your average household income is something like 65K.
Let's just say 50,000 for easy math.
Dual income. That means there's two people working in that one house to make 50K. That doesn't include bills. That doesn't include taxes. That doesn't include anything other than that's your on paper wage.
Yep. So you're not seeing 50,000. So think of all the bills, just the life you live, your Netflix. You're not even counting your Netflix bill, your internet bill, your phone bill. 250,000. If you saved every penny and paid zero taxes, you would literally, it would take you 5 years. Is that 5 years? That's math, Loy. 5 years.
That's if you didn't touch shit. Your expenses were bare minimum, and you were just trying to accrue everything.
No, so essentially, your bills would be zero. not minimum, zero.
So I'm bringing that all up to just amplify what we're saying is that's not fucking reality.
No,
right? Like
I guess my question is like, whose family has disposable $250,000 to gift?
That's my big thing. Now, to be fair to Eddie's big sticking point is the definition of self-made, right? Is what's self-made versus what? Because at the end of the day, Bezos still had to go out there and do that work.
Sure.
I don't think anybody in their right mind that's going to be honest with themselves is going to sit there and say he's a lazy piece of shit. It's just ignorant. It'd be like calling Bill Gates a dumb idiot, despite all this stuff for Microsoft. Or it's even like all the people that said that Trump is a fucking idiot. And it's like, you might hate the guy. He might say a lot of idiotic shit, but you don't get where you're at in those positions without being at least somewhat intelligent. You don't have to like it, but that's just the fucking truth.
I mean, if you take 250 and you make it $1 million, right? Here's 250,000 and you flip it for $1 million. Great. You're savvy. You flip 250 to $1 billion. You don't do that by accident.
No, most assuredly. And that's all I'm saying is like, nobody's going to take away from that work. However, when you're getting enough liquid cash to franchise your own fucking McDonald's, that's a real thing, because that's what you need. You need $250K liquid cash to franchise your own McDonald's to then make money.
But yeah, and you receive $250,000 with, you could franchise a McDonald's, but you have the wherewithal to not franchise McDonald's. Those motherfuckers print money, but are they billionaires? They are not.
No, absolutely not. And so it's all that crux of the argument. All I'm saying is, man, is I'm not smart enough to know where a line might be, but I gotta say there's gotta be a line. There's gotta be a line in the sand somewhere from whatever's gifted from your parents, because let's be real, man. It's not like Bezos' parents did anything most parents wouldn't do. If I had $250K liquid cash to make my son's dreams come true, damn it, he's going to get $250K liquid cash.
I'm going to make him give me a business presentation.
Yeah,
I'm going to make him, he's going to show up in a suit and tie and shoes and shit.
He's going to be in their prestige world. Why? I'll do it all day. Boats and hoes me all day, but I want to see that presentation.
Yeah, he's going to drive the shitty car out of the driveway, around the block, pull up on time. He's going to make this presentation.
I want you to knock on my door like you're showing up to make this presentation.
I'm going to hire somebody to be the receptionist just to see how he treats just to see how he treats the help.
Yeah, that's my thing, man. It's like I said, I don't know what that line is, but that line's got to be somewhere, because let's be real. I, as a normal person, can't even access a $250,000 loan, Lloyd.
Yeah.
You can't access a $250,000 loan.
A house loan, yes. A college loan, probably. Fucking figure it out.
You're fuck around and figure shit out while you try to do things slush fund. No, that's not happening. And that's my whole point. Is like, somewhere in there is a gray area to where it's like, yeah, self-made, probably not so much. You did some great things. You worked really hard and you got all the things. You earned what you got. But self-made,
and I'll tell you this. If my parents somehow, some way gifted me $250,000 in my career to follow my dreams, there is not a billionaire comedian. We would not be able to make $1 billion off a $250,000 flip.
That's being real. I know for a fact I would struggle flipping 250K into $1 million. I know for a fact all of that. That still doesn't take away from the fact that Bezos is probably not so self-made. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying in this whole ordeal. That's it.
And people are throwing Jeff Bezos under the bus. Trump got $1 million loan or gift from his parents, whatever it was. Taylor Swift, same thing. People were throwing that under. But like Taylor Swift, her dad comes from a line of bank CEOs. I'm pretty sure one of her ancestors invented banks.
Yeah.
And then her mom was in the industry some way. So it wasn't like you just, you don't have to pay rent for a couple months or for a couple years and you'll figure it out. It's like, no, connected and didn't have to worry about nothing. Yeah. Could you imagine just being like, hey, Terrence, I need you in Seattle this weekend for a comedy show? Like, you would have to ask, well, where am I staying? How much am I getting paid? All of these questions. And then the answer might be no. If your parents are taking care of you, sorry, I apologize. If your parents are taking care of everything, you don't have to worry about it. You can spend whatever money you need to get to Seattle, do your comedy show, work on your dream.
I liken it to the same equivalent of, and I'm not going to name any names because there's quite a few of them. I'm not hating on the grind. I'm just hating on how they talk about the grind.
Yeah,
but it's the same thing as the comics that have wives that have these government positions out in DC that are pretty fucking high up there. They're making good enough money to where she's the breadwinner, so you can go out and fuck around on comedy all night. I'm not denigrating anybody's grind, but don't sit there and act like you sitting here having the opportunity to go out and do all these mics and all these shows isn't a direct leg up because your wife supports you. All of that stuff is around these conversations. Well, I do this and I do this. And it's like, well, you're never minding the fact that other motherfuckers still got to take care of their wife and their families and pay bills and shit. You literally just take care of the house and then you go spill some jokes at the end of the night. Like, hey, look, my guy, they're not the same.
Yeah. And anybody that's, and I get it. I get that. I know that I know what I've invested in my relationship with my wife. And I know what I've invested time and money and otherwise and support. I will say that I'm a self-made millionaire when I get there, but not just because you're a kept man doesn't make you, did you meet your wife? Was she already high powered? Did you put her through school or were you there for school? Were you there? No. If you just she gets good money and I'm going to quit my job.
And
that's not self-made.
And that's the thing. Like, again, I'm not hating on it. There's a lot of people out there that will hate on it. Do I think it's particularly fair? No, life ain't fucking fair. Let me play the Eddie roll real quick. Stop fucking crying. Life ain't fucking fair, you fucking bitch. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's something like what Eddie would say, or dickhead. Life ain't fair, dickhead. Like something like that. We get that. I'm just saying. It's like those old sociology memes and things when they're presenting, even over the pandemic, right? You saw all those little animated GIFs that are talking about, here's how you show steps up in life and privilege. And then you get those people that have the privilege and they're like, no, I started out this race, 50 feet ahead because I just did. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's to me, it's that same equivalent.
It's the monopoly. It's a monopoly analogy where you're playing Monopoly, but people have been playing it for the people that you're playing with have been playing for 50, 100 turns before you got there.
Park Row and Boardwalk has been bought for a long time.
Everything's been bought.
Yeah.
Everything has been bought. You have to figure out how to you're just out there paying rent. You're out there paying rent.
You're literally hoping you get a good chance roll.
You're trying to buy Oriental Ave, okay, which is the shittiest, which offends me, but it's the shittiest property.
No, Oriental Ave isn't. It's the little brown ones right there. It's the two little brown ones,
which is also pretty racist.
Hey, I can't do anything about that. I'm just saying it's the two little.
So self-made.
That's this. Look, like I said, I get it. It's a semantics part of the definition. I'm just fucking saying 250K. 99% of motherfuckers in America aren't getting that.
99.999999999
aren't getting that.
Yeah.
Aren't getting that. And and just real quick, that's 250K from like 20, 30 years ago.
Which is a lot of fucking money.
Like, fuck, man. That's a lot of fucking money.
Well,
To
I mean, Terry,
do your dreams.
you gotta factor in inflation, and maybe that's not the
Throw in some money my way so I have a massive cushion so where I can be like, oh, I can lose my ass a little bit and still keep going. I'm gonna take fucking risk.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, if I had known when I was younger to go, hey, go into finance, get a job that pays a dumb amount of money, work for 10 years, work for 15 years, and then just dick off.
Yeah.
If somebody broke it down to me like that, I would have done that.
Yeah, I agree. But whatever, man. It's one of those things. It's like we'll deal with it if Eddie ever decides to show up. Yeah, he's probably not coming up. But I'm tired of that conversation anyways. Kind of tired of the other thing that we're going to talk about here.
I think I know that you were saying about your line. I say my line is, if you show up onto these shores and you've got nothing, your parents work at Walmart, not even in the pharmacy department, not in the they're basically just stocking the shelves, not a Costco, not Sam's Club, Walmart. Okay, and you became a millionaire. I'll give you that.
I might even give you like a Walmart manager position. If your parent was like a Walmart manager, a store manager, I'm good. You start
in the middle of nowhere
and regional, no, get the fuck out of here. You're privileged, and I don't. Oh,
if your parents are one of your parents is a store manager at Walmart, living in the Midwest somewhere nowhere, you're okay. Okay.
I'll chalk you up as self-made. But if your parents are fucking managing the entire district that cover an entire state, you're not as self-made as you might think, motherfucker. That's all I'm saying.
I guess my question to you is this: if you had the wherewithal, like you see this on TikTok as well, if you put the $1,200 stimulus check into specific cryptocurrencies, you could easily have $700,000 or some crazy bullshit. Is that self-made?
I feel like it's kind of got to be, right? Like, I
mean, you got the stimulus check, so you didn't work for that. You're just a goddamn American. And then you put it on something that you had nothing to do with.
That's what I'm saying, right? I know there's a fuzzy line, right? Like, to me, $1,200 though is not something that's completely inaccessible to 99.9% of America. You know what I mean? Like, $1,200 might still be inaccessible to a lot of people just because of how they fuck around with their debt cycles and stuff. Right. Which that's a big problem in America. I'm not here to denigrate. We also broke in debt motherfuckers. Everybody is.
Everybody.
1,200 compared to 250K. I don't know, man. Like 1,200 flipped to $1 million is many more times than a 250K. I only have to do 250K 4 times. 1,200, I have to do like $1 million times.
Yeah, but you take the 1,200, you put it in the cryptocurrency. After taxes, you pull out 250,000. Are you self-made?
I clicked the button.
Yeah. It was my bank account. I paid the taxes. It's mine.
That was work on my finger, man. That was work right here. That's all I'm saying.
You're not paying me for the work. You're paying me for the foresight. Put all of your money on an imaginary stock market. Figure it out.
Yeah, that's it. Figure it out. That's what we'll do.
Okay.
But like I said, I'm sick of talking to this shit. We'll deal with it when Eddie comes up. But we can talk about another thing I'm sick of talking about, Lloyd. I know you got to be sick about it.
Let's go.
Motherfucking COVID, man.
Oh, Jesus.
We got to be back. Dude, we got to be back talking about COVID, Lloyd.
COVID. We're not talking
COVID.
COVID. We're not talking about masks. We're not talking about playoffs. We're talking about COVID.
Yeah. So is it Omicron or Omicron? However you say it.
Well, there's no N. I looked it up. There's no N. So
that's Omicron. What I've been calling it Omicron for the last day and a half. Like it's some sort of, I don't know, omniscient, whatever. Comedy contest, who knows? But yeah, apparently it's a real thing and it's more transmissible.
We were just talking about this. 3 months. In 3 months, it'll be 2 years and counting.
Yeah, that's the thing that like I keep telling myself to like bring this to like just to kind of put it in context for me is 3 months from now, it'll be 2-year anniversary. That means in 3 months, we will be 2 years away from 2 weeks to stop the spread. So that means we have fucked this all the way up.
Royally.
Royally.
Kansas City
Look,
royally.
look, for all the no like media team and all that, that was coordinated well, and it wasn't coordinated. That was fucking perfect.
Because
all
I
right?
fucking love you. That's why.
It's all love. But dude, COVID, man.
I'm actually okay. COVID, that starts with a C. Delta, it starts with a D. And then O, like even our hurricanes go male, female, A through Z in order. We can't even come up with what is even Omicron. At least we know what Delta. Like we're
I'm
familiar with
saying
that.
I would have been better if they would have just been like we're on the other variant. Now we're at like COVID 44. Like
We're COVID-19 beta
yeah.
7.3, and it's like a new software update. Do
Yeah.
you want to download? Yes, I do.
It's like they went through all the Greek letters. Now they're going back through the Arabic ones, which we use. And then I don't know, maybe they'll start fucking doing it in cursive and call it something
Now it's just
different.
license plates. It's like a Nevada 7773.
That's
Great.
it, dude. It's gonna be like that, or like all those other stupid little variations that they do from like IP addresses. Just all kinds of shit, man.
Well, the problem is that international international borders are shutting down again.
Yep.
Do we have a list of who's shutting down?
I know there was some European countries that were talking. Canada has confirmed cases, the Omicron, and there, what was it, in Ottawa, I believe. And so there was talks about that, and that's going to be the more interesting thing, right? Is because this wave has never really stopped across the globe. Like for all the things that we've talked to, for all the back to normal and the jumping on podcasts and all the stuff we've done, everywhere else that isn't the developed world, they've still been dealing with it. And so I wonder how this next wave is going to be as they continue to roll out vaccines, which is going to continue to force the mutation and continue to drive. Because now we're in that weird biological fight, right? Is what's trying to fight for life, the vaccine or the virus.
We were so worried about if we could. We never thought if we should.
Well, we should, yeah.
Jurassic Park, shout out. So just to be clear, the World Health Organization has called this variant B.1.1.529 variant. So it does sound
That's
like
like a
an
military fucking regulation. Like we're on the COVID variant B.1.1.2.4.7, paragraph 7.
Can everyone just check their phones and see if they're updated to the new software?
How the fuck am I supposed? Oh God! Like
what happened to that button? The thing that I like to do.
I'm actually really curious now because we are 2 years into this. I don't even think we could say pandemic fatigue at this point. We're fucking past that. We're like pandemic like insomnia at this point. Motherfuckers is sick of COVID.
I think things are just kind of opening just to release the tension, and then everyone goes outside, and then we've been in for so long that still people kind of panic. I panicked. I went Thanksgiving. I went to the Bellagio to check out the observatory because they always do nice things, and then there was a lot of people, and I was freaking out. And people, you could tell people also like, obviously there were fucking savages in there, but other people were like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I watched a group of people walk off the elevator from the parking garage, go look at it, see all the people, and literally turn around. Like less than 5 minutes. Yeah. Okay. So Angola, Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, Denmark, Egypt, France, Germany. Yeah. So it's a lot of places.
I was gonna say it's everywhere. The biggest closest one is there in Canada. So we're a half a day away from getting it if we're not already there having spread. I'm just really curious because of the pandemic fatigue, with everybody shutting down, with everything having went the way that it is, but then you see things going the way they're going now. You see people bucking back on the mask mandates, even more so than they were before. You see people quitting their fucking jobs because of vaccine mandates. You see all of this stuff rolling out. I really do wonder, let's say that it does come back and it comes in full force, which I hope it doesn't, but let's say it comes back and it's nasty. What can we do?
Burn everyone at the stake. Just burn the bodies. Just
I mean, that's like, bro, like that's the thing I've been sitting here thinking about is because you got like half of the people are like, yeah, you still need to mask up everywhere. Then you have the other half like, this was never real. And I'm in the middle, like, it's all fucking weird, and I ain't fucking around with none of it. Like,
I tell dick jokes from him. You can't ask me for scientific anything. Like, hey, what do I got to do? Like, what is the least path of resistance? And everyone will call me a sheep. Like, do I have to wear a mask? Is it hurting anybody? Like, I'm weighing this out. Me wearing a mask versus me not wearing a mask. Which one hurts more?
Yeah, I never understood the whole like. I understand the whole infringing on my freedoms part a little bit. But I mean, dude, we're talking about what 10 seconds worth of work, actual work.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm done. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm done.
I can't breathe. And you're like, well, just fucking stop just gallivanting. Just do what you need to do.
Stop for a moment, pull it down, take your breath, and go back up. I don't know, like maybe.
I mean, I work, so I sell cell phones. I'm in a very, very busy location in Las Vegas. And most of the time, people will walk in from their car. We'll watch them walk in from their car into the store and then without a mask. I'm like, oh, sir, can do you have a mask? And like, oh, 9.9 times out of 10. So, oh, yeah, my bad. Oh, it's right here. But it's that one person just like throws their hands up like, oh, this place too. You sit there and go, it's been 2 years. Why is this a surprise?
Yeah, it's so weird to me that you have a lot of that. It's like, this is not new. This has circulated every outlet you could possibly fucking jump on. Unless you've literally unplugged yourself completely, there's no fucking way you don't know about this.
Are you Brendan Fraser from Blast from the Past? Are you just got out of a bomb bunker?
Yeah,
like come on.
Yeah, you're coming to realizing that the nuclear war never came through, but damn it, the commies did because they're trying to make you wear a mask. Like it's like I definitely look, man.
That was a deep
I
cut.
am never gonna be. I know, right? I'm never gonna be that person that doesn't shit on the government. Like period, point blank. I'll shit on it all day. I'm not the type that's going to blatantly trust the government. We got history books on history books and history texts on history texts. How governments have fucked people over.
And recently, I mean, recently,
I just have a really hard time thinking that we would fuck over our football stadiums, our basketball stadiums, and the shit that we genuinely care about here in America, and the billions that brings in for a fake virus.
Everybody always wants to say, well, don't trust the government, follow the money, the money. And you sit there and go and tell me like the baseball who's giving millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Millions
to one player.
Yeah, exactly.
And then multiply that by how many people on the team, multiply how many teams, and then we're talking about basketball, we're talking about football. You're gonna tell me that they don't have enough money to make this not work.
The only way that shit worked was to get people to continue to going to these games and everything. So shutting the fucking thing down for a fake virus just look, I'm all for a good conspiracy theory all day, but it has to meet a couple of levels of fucking scrutiny, my guy. Like, I can't just be like, oh, you got this conspiracy and then shoot it down with like one thing and be like, no, but it's still real. I'm like, nah, that's not really a good conspiracy.
I'm always the follow the money. Where is the money going? That's everything. And that's, you got to tell me LeBron James, who's got $1 billion contract for life, that's going to play in an arena that looks like a JV game because he's in on the conspiracy. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's kind of those, like, I have a hard time biting into shit like that. So I'm very curious to see how this goes going forward because we are so divided in so many aspects. A lot of places, particularly in any of the flyover states that I'm aware of, have lifted any sort of requirements. As a fact, like, some of the places even boast it. We don't have a mask requirement. It's like it's their fucking gold star. Yeah, it's their badge of honor. There we go. That's the thing. It's like, I wonder how this is going to go because if the government does say, hey, look, this shit's real, we got to shut shit down.
We're not going to take it. No.
You're like,
I went to Utah, St. George a couple weeks back, which is like a 2-hour drive from Las Vegas. And everywhere was like masks. I forgot the wording, not required, friendly suggested or something like that. Like
highly encourage that kind of shit.
Nope. Not even. Friendly suggested. I forget the exact wording, but it was like, we are happily suggesting that you wear a mask. And you go in the Starbucks and you're wearing a mask and you're the fucking asshole. You look at you like a goddamn terrorist.
Yep. And that's the other thing too, is like, I am and was and will forever be pro mask. I don't care what anybody says, they are effective. There's been several studies out there. If you don't believe me, go read the studies. If you don't like it, take it up with your mama. Don't take it up with me. The masks are effective, but everybody's got to be doing it. So if I'm wearing my mask and you're not, guess what? While I might be protecting you from me, you're not protecting me from you. And now the power balance and shifting this fucking virus is a little shifted. And the more that stuff stacks up, the more problematic it becomes. So it's like, what will they do when you have a lot of people that are like, fuck these masks, fuck everything, and they decide to shut shit down? It'll be very interesting to see how this stuff pans out.
I mean, honestly, I feel like they're just holding on for the holiday season. Let's see how much money we can get. Let's just open up the floodgates, take all the money and run, because
let's see how much we can sell you shit, but it's all back ordered for 6 to 8 months.
And you know what? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna back order all your shit. We're gonna put a lockdown in, and every couple weeks, every couple days, you get the package that you ordered from 6 months ago. You're like, I hate this, and then knock on the door.
It's just as I was getting ready to start this war.
just like every couple days, you're like, oh, the shit I ordered, hooray! I'm not so angry anymore.
I can't afford to hang out at Christmas, but it's like Christmas.
You're like, you know what? I'll start the revolt tomorrow. Then like 3 days later, you're gonna knock on the door and you're like, well, okay.
That's how you knew Amazon was listening. They were like, no.
Terrence G is starting an uproar, sending his shit. Give him an extra 15% off of the one thing that's in his shopping cart.
Yeah, just hook him up and get it to him on 2-hour shipping. Like I don't care that the drone doesn't fly there. Fly it anyways. Get him a package.
Get the drone to fly somebody too close to and have that motherfucker walk it to his
house.
And
deliver him. Like, have the drone deliver a person that's hand carrying the package. Show we really care.
I don't think this is OSHA approved, guys.
He's just sitting there like fucking swaying, package just like locked tight. He's got a fucking, it's in a suitcase. He's handcuffed to the suitcase on both sides.
Or it's like Hobgoblin, the Green Goblin. He's just throwing packages.
It's just whack, whack, whack. Just everything's blowing up. You're like a really shitty Paperboy, the old Nintendo game. Everything's just going through windows. It's ending up on roofs and shit.
Yeah, shit, I haven't thought about a Paperboy in forever.
I love me some Paperboy. I still play that video game. I'm old school like
Have
that.
you read a newspaper? Like, are you the guy that reads
physically touched one? No.
Yes.
I have in a long time. Not a long time.
I don't even think I've seen one.
I see them just because I got old neighbors and they still have the subscription. But yeah, it's very weird because you look, there's several papers around where I grew up that are all gone now. And they were like the prominent papers, like papers that I remember reading as a kid, either because the Sunday cartoons would come out or the Sunday morning comics would come out. So I always loved that, or like little bits and pieces. And now it's like they've either gone defunct, been bought out by bigger ones, whatever. It's like,
I feel like that would be easier on this crazy mental thing that I have. Like I research one thing, and next thing you know, I'm looking at puppies. Like I'm researching a recipe, and next thing you know, I'm trying to build a shed. Like I kind of want to go back to something like newspaper, read it cover to cover, and that's it, and you're done for the day.
Yeah, I mean that's because that's the shit, right? Like it's so distracting because you'll start out on YouTube. Hey, how do I change the headlamp bulb for my, truck? Something stupid. And then you see like a stupid thumbnail that's like, but you have to check out this bum fight. And I'm like, damn, I wasn't in the mood for a bum fight earlier, but now that I'm frustrated from this headlight, I want to see some bums fight.
It always goes that way, right? How do I replace the headlight? And then you're like, oh, I should restore 1967 something or other that I don't own, but I'm going to look for it because I have a YouTube video. And then 7 hours later, there's a conspiracy theory on Shang-Chi video. I don't know.
You seen Shang-Chi?
I did.
I am asking you because you're Asian.
Yes, I know. And
I haven't seen it yet. No, I haven't seen it. Was it good?
It's self-standing. I mean, They tied in. You've seen all of it before. Everything that you saw on there, you've seen it before in different other movies, which was exactly what I expected. But it was
good
fine.
though, right?
It was fine. It was fine. I mean, I think we're fucking segue. This is literally we are going into a conversation the way we go into YouTube. We're just following this motherfucker down.
Hey,
I think Shang-Chi will be the face of the Marvel franchise moving forward.
yeah. So speaking of the Marvel franchise, did you see the news that broke today from Sony Pictures?
Oh,
Spider-Man 4, 5, and 6 are in the works from Sony Pictures with Tom Holland as Spider-Man. So that's pretty exciting. That was actually just like a breaking news blurb.
I think you're kind of lying. I don't think they confirmed it. I think that they are saying that.
I thought they said it was in the works that they were looking to confirm.
I believe that they alluded to another trilogy or at least multiple projects with Tom Holland still as Spider-Man. Basically, the only thing that we know for sure is that this is not Tom Holland's last Spider-Man run. I think that was
from Uproxx. Yes, it says that Tom Holland isn't leaving the MCU for quite some time.
Yep.
Yeah. So hey, either way.
But what's in that article that I read was that they definitely confirmed that Venom and Morbius will be in the MCU. They are still in the same universe. So why is Spider-Man not in the other two movies?
It's still that weird, like, I still don't understand this whole Disney and Marvel versus Sony and Marvel specifically as it comes to Spider-Man. Specifically.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Marvel, the comic book, the company, comic book company was there's Eddie.
There's Eddie.
What's up, Eddie?
What's up, baby?
Okay, put you on mute for a second. I'm explaining Marvel shit.
Oh no, I heard a little bit of it because Terrence doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, as always.
Okay, here we go. So Marvel, the comic book company, was almost bankrupt in the late 90s. And basically they sold their license, not sold it, leased out their licenses to Sony to make movies. That's why you have Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, all that. So basically now Marvel is renting their lease from Sony. So Sony has some say in how the movies are made, but it's basically a Marvel movie. They are paying rent to someone that's renting their house.
That's the part that I didn't understand. Okay, and it's still fucking kooky as fuck. But
I own the house.
Yeah.
I'm renting it out to you, and somehow, some way, you are renting it back to me. I don't know how this all works.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's very weird to me, but hey, whatever. Like, as long as we're gonna get good quality Spider-Mans that don't result in a love story with fucking Tobey Maguire, I'm cool, man. Cool.
I need Emma Stone back.
No, you don't.
I love me some Emma. I do.
No,
she's the hottest Asian chick in Aloha. That's a joke. She's supposed to be like half Chinese in Aloha, and the other half Hawaiian. That's a joke, but I love Emma Stone.
She's a redhead.
Yeah, I know, redheaded Asian chick. Let's go.
Man, it's a recessive gene. It could happen.
Super recessive, oppressive.
But to the audio people out there, Eddie finally decided to join us. He's got on a nice sweater, nice shirt, looking good, my guy.
Yeah, where you going, bro?
This is called interview status, bro. It's called interview.
Good for you, man.
You have like all of the stripes. You have all of the stripes and all of the directions on all of the top half of you. That's wild.
You know, one of the things they say about like suits, like especially pinstripes, like the thinner the stripe and the more stripes you have, it's supposed to represent more authority. Some thick stripes, buddy.
He has both. He's got different color stripes, different colors in different directions, and then both 3-dimensional and 2-dimensional stripes. You got the whole gauntlet covered.
This guy's got plaid on and stripes.
Plaid and stripes and ribs.
I'm so glad that my service keeps going on as you guys start to do your dumb shit again. I didn't get to hear any of it. So
don't worry about it. We haven't talked about Lugs yet. Lugs is still on the way.
Lugs is still on the menu, and your terrible wireless and cell phone service is probably just going to be a perpetual thing at this point. You know, whether it's Bronx or Baltimore, it's shitty.
Anyways, moving on. What's the next topic you want to talk about?
Oh, what else we got, man? We got
so there was a great fight this past weekend in boxing. It was Teofimo Teofimo
Yeah,
Lopez
Teofimo.
versus George Kambosos, who is this Australian fighter. It was fireworks. I kind of been sleeping on boxing. It was a great fight, but I only say this to say that Oscar De La Hoya wants to come back.
Yeah.
I mean,
and he's calling out Floyd.
That's the stupidest thing ever that I've ever heard in my fucking life. You old piece of shit. That is possibly the second stupidest thing I've heard today besides Terrence.
wow.
Talking Marvel shit.
I know. So Eddie's still hurt and reeling from losing the debate earlier about the self-made stuff, but that's fine. The whole thing is, bro, how old is Oscar De La Hoya at this point? Seriously, like, I don't know. He's got to be close to 52, 52.
De La Hoya. Hold on, please hold. Oscar De La Hoya is 48 years old. He is 7 years older than I am. And he got his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
He got his ass handed to him. His last fight, Pacquiao retired him. He looked horrible.
He looked bad in that fight.
And the competition's only gotten better.
Yeah. And so my big thing with De La Hoya is, what are you hoping to gain from this? So you're going to pick on somebody that has already pretty much done everything he needs to do, proven all the things he needs to prove. However people like it or don't, cool, got it. So you want to go after Floyd. De La Hoya has chirped at Floyd for many years now, saying how Floyd has never went after top fighters in their prime, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm curious as to what the end game is here, because you look horrible in your last fight, and you're going to end up like another Bernard Hopkins, late 40s, early 50s, just getting knocked out for everybody.
No, I will tell you this. It's the easiest payday he will have in his life. It's in this portion of his life. He's 48 years old. He wants to fight a 40-year-old Mayweather. Mayweather hasn't knocked anybody out since Tito Ortiz, which doesn't count. Not Tito Ortiz. Ortiz, not Tito. The other one. Anyways, he hasn't knocked anybody out in forever.
Yeah.
Just get the payday. The hardest part of that job will be showing up, collecting the check, and going to the bank.
Yeah, I agree. Like the whole fact, 10 years ago, I'd have probably been excited for this fight. Probably. And even then, I think 10 years ago, I'd probably been like, it's a little late, but hey, I'll take it. Now, I'm not paying for it.
After the Pacquiao fight, that was what, 2009? It had to been 2008. 2008. You haven't fought since 2008. Nobody wants to see this shit.
I feel like I know where I was stationed at that point, and I think it would have been right around that time. And that's what I'm saying. Like 10 years ago, like I was excited for that fight, and that would have been 12-ish years ago. So, and if even right after that one, where I was like, "Ooh, that was ugly," had De La Hoya come out and said, "I want one last round," I might have even bit then. I'd be like, "Bro, you look terrible." But you're De La Hoya. I'll go.
But didn't De La Hoya fight? He fought Mayweather already, didn't he?
Yeah, back in the day.
Yeah, like way back in the day, and lost. But that was part of the thing, is where I said when De La Hoya was chirping at Floyd, he's like, "You never fought anybody in their prime, including himself." In that discussion, it's like,
so fight me way out of my prime.
Like that's good. Like,
yeah, I mean, Payday City, baby. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Come on. That's all. I mean, that's all De La Hoya. De La Hoya is about the money, but I won't say De La Hoya is making money off a Golden Boy, right?
Yep.
So this might be one of those cases of, I was doing it for so long, I don't know what else to do besides keep doing this.
Or I've been doing cocaine for so long, this seems like a great idea.
Yeah, this is definitely
so fucked up, Lloyd. That's so fucked up.
It's definitely a high idea, man, because you don't sit around at fucking 50 years old and be like, I should do this boxing thing again.
That's what you see when you grow up in a small little town, and your best days, your glory days, was when you played high school football or baseball or basketball. You're 48 years old, working construction, and you're at the bar, and you're like, you know what? I could definitely play professionally. I could still play professionally. That's what it sounds like to me.
I guess the big question is do you guys think he's doing it because he's broke? even with Golden Boy stuff, even with the promo stuff.
Nah.
Like it just
Yes.
because you think about
Yes.
why am I dropping his name? AJ. God damn it.
Dillashaw?
No,
That's TJ.
he played
AJ
fucking.
Hawk?
No, he played in Friday. Why am I? He played Ezel in Friday. Why am I dropping his fucking name?
Oh, the comedian.
Yes,
Yeah, he's the comedian.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm dropping his fucking name right now, but like
I
something
mean,
like that.
no. But his situation, I don't think he was ever loaded. He also never had like crazy big roles where you were like, oh, he had a $10 million deal and he died broke.
In Friday, his biggest role in theory is
Smokey
that
back
whole
here taking his shit. Yeah,
that whole production is infamously known to have not paid anybody anything for any reason.
Right. They didn't pay that movie wasn't supposed to do what it did. So they paid for it to not do as well as it did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it was a low budget production. I get that.
Right. So
I'm just thinking.
No. But hold on. The point to answer the question though, right? I don't think he made the reason why we were more upset about him jumping in the comic as a comic, not having any type of money was basically there's no backup plan for us, but we also don't make a lot of money. So it's like you have to be very strategic about your funds as a comic because you can literally make 10 grand 1 month and then not make anything for 3 months. Oscar De La Hoya made millions. That's the difference. Like
on the front side and the back side.
Yeah, in his pocket. So if he doesn't have any money, it's a lot worse. Now
I agree. But there's been plenty of athletes that have done that.
Though. I don't think he's broke though. He might be looking at his bank account and be like, shit, I only got like 25 million left. And if I don't do something in the next 10 years, I'm gonna have to sell another house. Like or some shit like that.
Or something. The thing about businesses is that you can business and taxes, right? You can push the taxes that you owe all the way down the road to some given point. And I would assume that tax bill is due. And he's like, well, if I just do this real quick for whatever money, let me just pay off that tax and call it a day.
Yep. And that's the only reason why I brought that up is because just kind of like previous conversations is we know how the debt cycle is here in America. And even apparently these millionaires aren't fucking exempt because you get that $1 million deal. That just means you go out and buy millions worth of fucking shit and be in debt for that.
Yeah. Or like, I don't know. I don't know how it all works, but like maybe he hasn't paid taxes in fucking 10 years. Right. And it's like, oh, well, the tax bill. Okay, so which fight can I get in there that could sell well, that's going to make me, I don't know, $10, $15 million for showing up, that I'm not going to get hurt? Floyd has not hurt anybody in fucking forever.
Right.
I mean, all he's got to do is just do the car. I mean, shit, he could do what he did with Manny Pacquiao. Just at 9th round, just not get off the stool. And everyone would be like, well, that's his brand now.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't. Oscar De La Hoya coming back to fight. I think it might be a publicity stunt. I know, like, the whole him and Canelo situation went south. Like, you remember, like, Canelo wanted, I think Canelo sued them for the whole DAZN deal because he wasn't making as much as he thought he was going to off of that deal. Like, he became the highest boxer of all time, highest paid boxer of all time on paper, but wasn't getting a lot of it. So he was like suing De La Hoya. So I wonder if that has something to do with it. Like, look, I used to be one of the best. Like, I'm still considered in the top 50, like somewhat top. I'm definitely in the top 5 Hispanic boxers of all time.
I mean, Triller is going to throw you millions of dollars to show up. I mean, look at Mike Tyson.
Roy Jones.
Who was it? Roy Jones. That's what. Fuck.
Roy Jones Jr.
Nobody wanted to watch it, but we all watched it. Nobody was like, "Yeah, let's see that." 2021.
I wanted to watch it. I'm not gonna lie, bullshit. I wanted to watch it. There was the sick fucking part of me that had to see Mike swing again, man. Like, I admit it, I had to.
Oh yeah, he broke fucking Roy's rib.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's absurd to me. And that goes to the motherfuckers again. They seem to be like, "But I'd take a punch in the mouth from Mike Tyson for $1 million." No, you wouldn't, because that $1 million, you'll never be able to talk again, dummy. No.
Yeah. Especially a person who doesn't know how to box, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
because that would be a clean punch with no roll. Like, you're out of your fucking mind, bro.
I wouldn't want to take a punch from Tyson Chandler. Forget Mike Tyson.
Yeah, No, I'm good. I'm good. I
Yo,
don't need this.
so what are we going to jump? Are we going to clarify this shit?
Oh,
now?
we can definitely clarify. Let's do the last thing, the last topic that I want to cover, just to cover it real quick, just to get it on the podcast to say we did our due diligence. Ghislaine Maxwell, the co-conspirator alleged in the Epstein case,
Oh, you
has started her
fucking
trial
sexist.
today.
You got that
Started her trial
sexist.
today. How's that sexist? I said Ghislaine Maxwell, the
Sexist.
potential co-conspirator of the Epstein sex ring, started her trial today. There's opening arguments. You know, they decided to do a media blackout.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she doesn't get killed, dumbass. Like you,
I was
you
like, I'm really impressed that she showed up.
That's funny that you would say that as the first thing. So she doesn't get killed, dumbass. As if like maybe part of it being blacked out isn't because there's like a shitload of world leaders in this potential pedophile ring.
Or you goddamn QAnon motherfucking supporter.
You shit dick licking motherfucker.
They don't want.
I don't know what you're doing right now, but I don't appreciate it.
They don't want her to get killed, nigga. Like, dude.
No. I get that from the prosecution standpoint. That makes more sense the way you said it now. But anyways, I'm
just saying. Like, no. I mean, it's twofold, right? The situation is basically Ghislaine, whatever her name is, Ghislaine, Miss Maxwell. Yeah. Oh, that bitch Maxwell. She fucking she was setting up the young girls to get fucking hit off by all the higher ups, all the world leaders and shit. All right. But what they also talked about was that they were doing it and not telling motherfuckers that these girls were young girls. And like, and I know to some people that sounds crazy, right? But there's also a fucking porno page called Barely 18 for a reason.
No, I
agree.
Know what I'm saying? Like barely legal is a fucking thing.
And
where these 24-year-old girls are dressing up like they're fucking, yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So like you could say, like, I've always been underneath the mold, even when we talked about Chris D'Elia, right? Chris D'Elia. Like, hey, I'm not gonna say he's a pedophile, but that nigga's definitely a creep. Right? All these world leaders, they may not be pedophiles, but they definitely creeps. So if you set a couple people up, right? If you say you set a couple people up and then they're going to testify against Ghislaine, right? Because they're like, yo, like, I went to this party. They told me that, like, you know what I'm saying? The girls here weren't like for sex, but the girls were really coming on strong. I had a couple, they like fed me with drinks. And then I later found out that the girl was 17 or 16. And then they tried to use that to blackmail me. You get what I'm saying? Like, you don't know if that might be one of the situations.
Very well could be the case. Absolutely could be the case.
So if that's one of the situations, right? And say this dude is still a politician and this shit is like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he came forward, which is why Epstein or whatever, why they started looking into these people, because he was a good dude who got fucked over. Like, if you're going to put me out there, I'd rather kill this bitch. I'd rather take the chance of this bitch dying than y'all put me out there as a fucking pedophile. Fuck you.
Yeah, makes sense.
But also, you probably do got a lot of motherfucking pedophile motherfuckers that are about to be called out as pedophile motherfuckers.
I don't know, man. She's probably the fall gal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
they
with
got a fall guy or gal, I imagine.
A handler, right? I mean, that's what you pay a handler for. You like whatever I'm into, whatever I need, whatever, just handle it, and you kind of just assume. But maybe that's what they're into. Maybe they're like, no, that is what I'm looking for. But either way, she's going. It's not going to be pretty.
Yeah.
She's definitely going. She's definitely going to hell.
Yeah.
But she's.
Yeah. But that's she's between me and her maker. I mean, that's between her and her maker. Not has nothing to do with me.
Her and Epstein gonna be meeting their make. She gonna meet Epstein's maker in a few. Like, I told you, man. I'm surprised she lasted this long.
Yeah, I am too. I am too, for sure. That's why that's why I wanted to get it out there and say that, like, at least it started today. There's no media involved. I imagine there'll be transcripts released and shit pushed out throughout the day.
Redacted.
Yeah, it'll be a whole lot of redacted.
Nah, bro. We gonna. I promise you, we gonna start hearing about this shit in like 2-3 days.
If she doesn't show up in a kufi and a leather jacket like Alonzo from Training Day, I'm gonna put cases on all you motherfuckers. Yeah. I don't want to see it.
I'm saying.
I think that's kind of already happened.
I wouldn't be surprised. But now that we have our third cohort here, we have the full cast and crew. As far as the on-camera cast and crew of the I'm Gonna Get in Trouble podcast, ladies and gentlemen, it's Eddie Lyles. He made his appearance finally to discuss the article that we discussed early at the beginning of this, folks. If y'all don't remember, we were talking about Bezos and his garage and self-made and all of this stuff. And Eddie had a very wrong opinion to share, and I'd like for him to share it now. Please, Eddie.
How
Go
is it
ahead.
a wrong opinion? You piece of shit. No, it's very easy. This is a very simple conversation. Self-made is when you make something, right, that was not previously done or was not previously passed down to you, and you make it something. That's just self-made. That's all it is, right? So, Lloyd, you get what I'm saying, right?
I mean, I'm listening. I'm allowing you to speak. I'm not redacting any of your time. Continue.
Oh my fucking god! All right. So if I come up with the point of the article was Jeff Bezos isn't self-made. Jeff Bezos started a company,
Yes.
right? And then as he started the company, as we all, if you understand business at all, you have to have a proof of concept. So he started the company with a proof of concept.
Yep.
When he did the proof of concept, he started doing angel investors. Angel investors, if you understand business and venture capital, right, and building capital for a business, once you have a proof of concept, you go to angel investors. Angel investors normally consist of family members, friends, and network connections, right? When he did
That
the
you
angel
know pretty
investors,
well that could put in on that. Right?
when he did the angel investors, when he went through the angel investors, he went to his parents, who at the time, I mean not at the time, I'm sorry. He went to his parents, which was his stepfather, who's a Mexican immigrant that's an engineer, and borrowed $250,000 from them.
That's
right?
a lot of fucking money. Continue.
No, it's not. The point that I'm making to
Okay.
it's not a lot of money, bro.
Okay.
Where's your 250K, Eddie?
That doesn't, just because it's not a lot of money doesn't mean it's easy money.
It's
That's
two
different things.
But that's the thing. Is in the
It's
context
not.
of this, it
It's
is the
not.
thing. Because
Hold on. Let me finish the convo. Let me finish
You're
the
right.
joint, bro.
Okay.
So he went. So he did an investment run with his angel investors. His parents lent them out of their 401k, mind you, out of their retirement fund, $250,000 towards the build of Amazon. Not only was it just them, I think the initial rate, not the initial, the angel investor raise for Amazon was like 400,000, some crazy ass shit. So they were the largest part of it, right? Over time, Amazon starts to work. He gets more investors. He pays back his parents. They still get an initial fee. They still get an initial percentage of the money. So now everybody's like, well, he's not self-made because his parents gave him $250,000. And the point that I was trying to make is the amount of money that was invested into your company does not change the fact that he was self-made.
Here's the deal.
That's exactly what
I know that's what you're saying. And what I'm saying,
that's exactly, you said it did. You said
I'm saying that I'm not smart enough to know exactly where the line is.
You better be glad I got a phone call, you asshole. Go ahead.
I said I may not be smart enough to know where the line is, Eddie, but I know there's a fucking line somewhere. Because
there's no line on that.
There's a huge difference between a
There's
normal
no
person.
line on that.
There's a
and
huge
if that was the line,
there's a huge
it would
there's
be
a huge
millions.
there's
It
a
wouldn't be
huge
in
there's a
thousands.
huge I'm gonna keep doing this till there's a huge difference between the normal people like you,
Boy, you don't have
Boy,
enough hair
and
for that.
myself to go out and get a loan compared to what he got. That's not accessible to over 99%. And all of that's not being said.
That's not true, sir.
Hold on.
That's
He
not
still
true.
had, I will give you this. He still had to work. Yes. He still had to flip that 250K into $1 million, then flip that into $1 billion. Absolutely. But that being said, in no scenario does anybody get a $250 cash leg up and in my mind still allow themselves to be called self-made.
Okay.
Because that's the
I'll
deal,
repeat that.
dude. That's the deal, dude. Like, you can't go out and get a loan for $250K today. I couldn't. Lloyd couldn't. Despite any business plans, despite any sort of presentations, proof of concept you might have, you're not going to get $250K. It's just not happening. And so all I'm saying is that's a really blurry thing to sit here and act like, well, he's a self-made millionaire, and it always comes with that connotation. Anybody can do this. Just you got to work hard enough.
You adding stuff to the conversation.
No, that's absolutely not. That's not.
You're adding. No, how do we add that to the conversation? That wasn't part of the conversation. Of the conversation, it doesn't. Hey, what somebody else says you should be able to do because of some bullshit, that's on some other idiot's.
That was the crux of the whole conversation, Eddie.
But he never said it. That was the point that I made to you in that conversation. He never said. He was never one of the people that was like, pull yourself up by the bootstrap. Other people use Jeff Bezos.
This is what you've all been missing, troublemakers.
What?
Jeff
Bezos has always pushed to better yourself with what you got. And at the end of the day, you are not going to be able to pull off not everybody's able to pull off feats as such as Jeff Bezos. There'll probably be another person. Hold on, man. There'll never probably be a person that will be able to make 200 billion off of 250,000. My point to you, though, this is my only point to you, is that there's an X on money. There's a 1X, 2X, 10X, right? If you allow people to say that by taking out raising $250,000, which you incorrectly are stating that none of us three can get, because all three of us can work towards getting $250,000 if we do certain things. Now, we might not like to do those certain things. No, we might not be able to go to our parents and just say, hey, mom or dad, I don't really have a business plan. Here's $250K. But if you have access to money that you can get to, why is it that we take away from someone because they had the access to money that we didn't? It's not like his parents were millionaires who
that's
like,
the crux of the argument.
That's not the crux of the argument.
That is the crux of the argument,
bro. It wasn't how much he started with.
That's the crux of the argument, Eddie. That's the whole point. Is because you're sitting here saying the dollar amount doesn't matter, correct?
It doesn't. For the title of self-made.
And I'm saying that somewhere along the line, it probably kind of does, because at the end of it all, like you said, yes, everybody here can have access to 250K, but you got to do things, right?
And you don't think he did? Hold on. His father's a goddamn engineer. You think his father was just like, hey, Jeff, you're 38 years old with a crazy ass plan.
You're doing what you did on
$100,000 on the table.
You're doing what you did on. You're doing what you did on the Facebook group. You're putting words in my mouth, and that's not what I said. I will say it again so you and everybody out there can hear
it again.
Nobody smart is going to denigrate that man's work ethic. Period, point blank. It takes a fucking work to get 250K. No, it's not.
How? You just said he's not self-made.
I'm saying that the title of self-made is probably a little misleading. And to go back to say, oh, he didn't say that, that wasn't the whole deal of the post. The entire post that was made to trigger this debate and discussion was about the fact that somebody put up a picture of Jeff Bezos' garage. It was like, look, this was the garage Jeff Bezos worked out of and became a billionaire with Amazon. Never minding the 250 fucking K gift that his parents were able.
It wasn't a gift. You got to stop saying that. When you say gift, when you say that his parents gifted him $250,000, then you're taking away from that he owed that money back.
Be real, Eddie. You know good and hell well. It's family. He's not going to be paying that back.
Okay, so hold on, turn. So again, let's make this perfectly clear, bro. Right? So my sister gets $25,000 from my mom to build her hair salon. Her hair salon's now worth $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same X, right?
No, it's not. No, it's absolutely not the same X. Absolutely not the same X.
How? We talking about in the first year, bro. We talking about in the first year, bro.
Yeah,
this is not 20 years down the line here.
Like I said, I think there's a massive difference, and I don't know where that line is, but something that relatively most Americans could fucking do. Most Americans could somehow.
But that's not self-made. Just because most people, if most people, hold on, pause. If most people can fucking do it, then it's not an accomplishment. Most people can fucking walk. It's not an accomplishment that you can't walk.
No.
An accomplishment when you can't walk.
No. You're not listening to what I said. Most people can have access to a $20,000 or $30,000 loan. Yes, I'll give you that.
No, most people can't.
No, that's bullshit. Most people can sit there and do it because that's what they do in America.
Most
build up debt, build up debt.
The same. Listen, bro. You guys are making money more complicated than it is.
Thank you, Marcus. That's all I'm saying. You can lose your ass on this and it's not going nowhere. I couldn't lose my ass.
That's incorrect because he filed for bankruptcy 3 times. How about we learn the dude's story before we talk about it?
No. We're not talking about his story. We're talking about specifically this one post that triggered this whole thing. And we're talking about the definition of self-made.
He started in the garage.
Self-made.
Listen, bro, you know how many people started in the garage? Apple started in the goddamn garage. Fucking Microsoft started in the but all of those people, parents were fucking rich. Guess who else started? Who didn't start in the garage? Jay-Z didn't start in the garage.
Self-made.
What the? Are you fucking kidding me? He had 250,000 from drugs. Are you stupid?
Which he sold himself.
You guys are fucking assholes.
How am I an asshole? He didn't go to a fucking bank to
take away from a person just because.
No.
People don't like. Hold on, no. People don't like that Jay-Z sold drugs to be able, and also had a pretty good rap career, right? Let's not act like he couldn't rap at all. But he sold drugs to be able to perform that shit. I don't condemn him for that. Just like I'm not going to condemn Jeff Bezos from getting a loan from his parents.
I never condemned Jeff.
Go back. You're condemning people like that.
Go back to the whole post.
No. You can't do that, Terrence. You are condemning Jeff. You know how you know you're condemning Jeff? Because you're praising Jay-Z and not Jeff. It doesn't make sense.
Now, I'm not. No. See, you're
praise one.
You're
person,
you're inputting like I'm.
Did the same thing.
No. You're inputting it like I'm praising one over the other. I'm saying I'm willing to give the title to Jay-Z more than I ever would be for Jeff Bezos, because whether it was legitimate or not, that dude legitimately had to fucking scrounge up for his 100,000, his 250,000. Exactly. His mom didn't give him no fucking 100K brick. It was like, go run these streets.
He ended up having fucking simple right now.
Oh my! Are you simple? Like because now,
so Jay, hold on. So we are mad. We are happy that Jay-Z is a billionaire after ruining thousands of lives.
Nobody is saying that.
But we're upset that somebody's parents, who's a goddamn immigrant, saved up money and let them and helped them build the company.
I just want all the people out there to understand for all the times Eddie's like, so you're saying. No, I ain't never said none of that. But he likes to tell me what I'm saying when I ain't never said none of that. Now, I never once denigrated.
We're not happy.
Denigrated Bezos.
We're not happy or sad about anything. We're just trying to.
All I said was, I can't give Bezos that same title of self-made the same way I would somebody like Jay-Z. You might be able to do that. That's fine. I'm saying
because I don't understand how that sounds crazy to me that you wouldn't.
I'm not that other person that's sitting here saying, fuck Jeff Bezos, he's a piece of shit.
But
I agree with you.
That more is what I'm saying to you.
I
would understand that part more.
That part makes less sense to me than being honest about it right now.
You just don't like the person. So it doesn't matter what I say.
That makes more sense than being realistic right now and saying, hey, 99% of most people aren't going to get access to what he had access to. So all of that risk that he could take, all of that fuck offery he was able to have was directly impacted by his parents, however you want to look at it, whether it was a loan or a gift, whatever. Nobody is getting that same thing.
So let me get this straight, Terrence. So let me get this straight real quick. So if he got a $250,000 loan from his parents, right? Because let's make sure we said the way that it was that we know about it. It was a 200, not add our own definitions to the shit. It's a $250,000 loan that he got from his parents 401k. That's one, right? His parents took out a loan again. This is how you guys. This is what I'm trying to explain to people. Like when you just say his parents were able to give, his parents were not able to give. They took out a loan against
That's fucking able to give, no matter how
that
you
is
slice
not
that.
able
That's
to give.
bro.
Turns, go to your
bullshit.
401k right now. No. Go to your 401k and say, give me 250,000. Oh, I'm sorry, take that back. Say, give me $250 fucking dollars. Right? They're going to fine you, or they're going to give it to you in a loan. So you have to pay it back, or you get fined.
Let me go to my dad right now and say, hey, Dad, tap into your 401k and hit me up with a loan so I can make my fucking dreams happen. Oh, I can't. Because why? Because we're like most fucking Americans that don't have that. All I'm
not
saying
most Americans have that. That wasn't the point that I made to you, bro.
But that's the point that we're making, is that he actually his parents had the access to $250,000 to loan, regardless of what the loan.
So that takes away from his accomplishment of self-made?
I'm saying that it definitely taints. Like if it were, if this
because
was
no,
if
because
this
the
were
amount
baseball,
you're saying that the amount matters, and I'm telling you the amount doesn't matter. If somebody goes to their parents, hold on, because you go to your parents. Could I go to my friend? Fuck that. Let's use you. Can I go to my friend and say, hey, Terrence, can I borrow $200 fucking dollars? And then I fucking buy cupcakes. And then 10 years later, those cupcakes are now worth $10,000. Am I not a self-made 10,000? Did I not make a self-made?
I want you to read Marcus's statement. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I've been saying this whole time, man.
It doesn't remove the label.
Yes.
Maybe to you it doesn't. Maybe to you it doesn't.
No, it doesn't remove the label for you because your definition is different. The definition is like, I mean, if you're saying that because, forget the fact that they were his parents, or if you're saying that like, oh, they're angel investors and he's exhausting his resources and that was a thing that he did, okay, I can understand your definition of how he fits your definition of self-made. Yes. But I am a soft skills kind of guy, and I know that my parents would give me $250,000 if they had it because they're my parents and they want me to succeed. They believe in me.
Facts.
But my parents don't have $250,000. But if they did, I would say because they're my parents, I'm not self-made because I'm leaning on the soft skills of my parents.
It doesn't fucking take away from any of his accomplishments.
Yes, it does.
But everything that he's done,
title, bro.
It takes away from the title. I will say it takes away from the title some. Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely.
But that's what I said from the beginning, bro. You're taking away from a title. You can't do that.
I'll take away from his title. I will take away from his title all day. Not his accomplishments.
My parents are not wealthy. An example that I used to you in the post was 100,000. My parents aren't wealthy. But if my parents didn't give us the $2,000 to start the goddamn festival, then it wouldn't be. Then the festival wouldn't even made it past the first year.
Eddie,
no.
Again, we're doing this. We're talking past each other because I'm agreeing with you. No, I'm agreeing with you in most aspects, other than the simple fact that I have a line somewhere in there. You don't, and I think you should. You don't think that I should, but I think it's crazy that you do. But at the end of all of this, one thing that I can appreciate is the fact that when both of us feel like we've rested our case, we get real quiet and calm and wait for the other individual to present their case. So I appreciate that. That's number one. Number two,
is this guy talking about?
I also know that I'm right. That's all. That's all I wanted. I know that I'm right. So I know that I'm right because more people agree with me, and I got more likes and love emojis.
Brown's crazy ass agreeing with you.
Go back to the post. I got love emojis on my comments, Eddie. You didn't get none.
You know how many people hate rich people?
Good. I'm glad, and I hope they hate you in the process too, with your dumbass comments that was wrong.
Get rich too, fucknut. And I hope, and that's my only point to you, my dude, is that at the end of the day, the things that we are growing.
And guess what we would be?
No, bro. Listen.
Self-made.
Listen. No, we won't. Based off of your analogy, we wouldn't be.
No, we're not self-made because
we wouldn't be self-made based off of your analogy.
Oh, we got 250K. Are we getting 250K?
Hold on.
We getting 250K?
Did you pay?
Are we getting 250K?
Did you, Eddie?
It's definitely at least 250K.
Hold on, guys. Did you pay your parents back?
Huh?
Did you pay your parents back?
Yeah, I'm paying them back.
Okay, so they're angel investors, basically, is what you're saying.
Basically.
So by your definition, we would be self-made. By my definition, we are not self-made, but that is my definition. So to Eddie's definition, we are self-made. Okay, that's it. It's really just a definition thing. That's it.
That's all I'm saying. Like I said, I'm not going to be the guy that sits here and shits on what he's done. Like all the people out there that get upset, oh, he's going to space when he should be solving world
I don't
hunger.
give a
Like,
fuck about
okay,
it. That's just
clearly
stupid.
y'all don't know what
That's
the fuck
broke
y'all are
nigga shit.
talking about. Yeah, that's just what you're talking about. But at the end of it all, me personally, it takes away from the label somewhat. Self-made,
Oh.
I said I would look at it like baseball. If it was home runs,
By definition.
I'd put an asterisk next to his. I'd put an asterisk next to Bezos.
Are you saying he's Babe Ruth? He's Babe Ruth of baseball because he hit home runs before black people could play?
I will say that he's Babe Ruth in the aspect that he hit home runs and black folks can't hit the same home runs because they don't have access to play the game.
No,
right?
Because they weren't even inside the stadium.
They weren't in the stadium, bro.
Yeah.
And then when they did come, they broke his fucking records. Like,
And they might not have even been in the city, to be honest.
Hank Aaron destroyed that fucking shit.
I do want to say, shout out to your parents. Thank you for investing in us. Thank you for believing in your son.
Thank you.
We appreciate
Thank you for
it.
believing in Eddie, because Eddie's
At
an
some,
alright dude.
at some point, we'll have quarterly meetings.
That's funny.
We will have board meetings at some point, just not anytime
I
soon.
definitely want to be part of the board of regents.
Of what?
The board of regents for this investment, because I would advise your parents that something they did along the way was wrong. And it wasn't it probably wasn't them. It was definitely something that you did, that you specifically did, because you are a self-made asshole.
That's very true. I'll take that one. I'll take that one all day.
Yeah, as I say, you have that shirt already.
Yo, let's wrap up, bro.
Please.
Yo, y'all got any church announcements?
Nah.
Not today, man.
So yo, ladies and gentlemen, New York City.
Oh yeah.
New York City. We are. Yeah, I know, right? We are.
Are you talking about MC Maryland one, the logo one that he did as well?
No.
Oh Jesus.
Okay.
Christ.
All right. I'm not saying nothing about. I just brought it. Hey, I just brought it up. That's all.
I said New York City. How the fuck?
I know. I was asking if you were saying that too.
Don't bring up my logos. Don't bring up my logos.
I'm over here like trying to bring up
turns. We gotta have meetings about this shit. So New York City, QED, January. We are in the building. Producers Club, Run the Light. January we start up. We will be touching at least 3 boroughs. So as of right now, I have in the plans for Brooklyn, Harlem, or Bronx, and Manhattan. Looking for Queens and Staten Island. Huh?
You out there looking for Queens? I got you. I see you.
Right?
I see you working.
I know, right? You know what I'm saying? No. And then this week we are back at Hideout for the first time in almost a year. So that shit is amazing. State Fair is on Wednesday, and since Turns let the cat out of the bag a little bit,
I literally I danced around the shit. Don't drop it. No,
you ain't gotta drop it if you ain't ready.
Around it. Yeah,
you don't have to prematurely drop it.
I mean, I dropped it on the Facebook page.
Don't make me do it.
Like,
don't make me do it.
No, we're not gonna say we're not. I'm just saying we got some things in the works.
We got stuff working. Thank you. Stay in trouble, troublemakers. We're cutting it out. Out.
With it. That's why I'm mad with it. With it. With it. That's why I'm mad with it.
I'm not gonna lie. Very weird.
With it. Whatever you want, whatever you need, it's on tab. Get it. That's why I'm mad with it.
Are we in trouble?
That's why I'm mad.